In this movie, we're going to talk about how to open a file and do a basic print in Caldera version 11. So when the application opens up in its basic default mode, you have your icon preview bar on the side, or image bar, as Caldera likes to call it. So on the left side, you have your image bar, and across the top, we have our various applications, and we can also dig in a little bit deeper into our various settings. So from the main window, we have our printers and our application called FileMan. FileMan is where you're going to go to open a file. So by double-clicking on that application, it will open up a browser. It will point to various different locations, but you have easy access to your desktop. You can look on a various network volume that's on there. You can go to your home drive. You can move up a folder. In this case, I'm going to look on the desktop, and I have a folder called Test Images. And within there, I'm going to open up a file called Caldera Test Images. Here you can see that it has automatically decided to rasterize the white layer. That's very normal. To create an additional separation, and it's going to leave all of the spot colors alone as individual spot colors. So generally the auto option is the best. And across the bottom here, it gives you various information about bringing in the file. This particular one only has one page of one, but if you did have multiple pages, you could select what page you wanted to import. And it tells you a little bit about the dimensions and resolution of the image. It's also going to bring it into the default tab, which is what we have up here at the top. I don't have any custom tabs set up, but you could set up various tabs for various scenarios that you'd like to print within. Within this dialog box, there are some things that you can dig in a little bit deeper. For the moment, we're just going to open up that file. So by clicking open, within a few seconds, or depending upon the size of the file, it will show up on the image bar on the left. There it is. So now we can quit that browser, and we now have an image available for us to print. We have a number of different printers that we can print to. So in this case, I'm going to use the Acuity Select as my demonstration printer. So by double clicking that, it's going to open up a smaller application for that specific printer. So the way that the software works is if it has a calibration profile setup that's been completed, it's going to be white. If it's in red, it means that we haven't yet calibrated or set up a specific set of profiles and linearizations for that media. So you want to make sure that when you select, starting from the top and work your way down, that it is, in a sense, white. So we have a number of different possibilities for media and for resolution. In this particular one, we only have quality. In a few other ones, there may be some other options available. Looks like mainly just quality. So let's use the white styrene. The mode is the ink set that is configured in this one, which is CMYK, light cyan, light magenta. You could switch to a unidirectional. So purple is an option. It wasn't initially calibrated for that mode, but purple is one that you can change to, but red you cannot. Depending upon if you want to send it directly to the printer, you can select print, or you could select RIP, and in which case RIP will then send it to the spooler, which is this application here, and it will wait for you to give instructions to release it to the printer. So we've selected all of our options for printing. I'm going to now take an image from the image bar and drag it onto that Acuity Select 28 printer application. And at this point, we could simply hit print, and it would send that file to the printer. There are some very simple things that we can get into in terms of doing adjustments for that printer. On this bottom icon here on the left, you have what are considered sort of the properties for making changes. A number of different things can be set up to customize how that image is sent. So at the moment, if we go through each of these on the left under the main tab, we have the automatic rotation mode, but we could rotate it in various different ways. We could rotate it right or go back to automatic. This mode allows you to center it on the page, which normally is not how you want to set it up. Normally you're going to have it in the top left corner. This allows you to maintain the image's properties in terms of scaling. If that's turned off, then you have the ability to alter that in any way. So if you get into trouble, there's always the reset button, which brings you back to defaults. 1:1 is meaning it's going to print at 100% scale. When this is selected, it means you can move it outside of the traditional dimensions for that printer. Personally, I don't really have many situations where that can happen, but that is an option. And here you have the option to mirror the print, to flip it on its axis. So we'll hit reset, everything's back to normal. At the moment, I'm not going to get into too many other of these options, but you can set up marks and cutting and contours and weight settings and things like that. So we can close this image at this point and we could hit print. I just want to show you the spooler, which is down here. By double clicking that, you have the ability to see what's happening with that image. So if I was to hit print, more than likely it's giving me an error because I don't actually have the Acuity connected to my laptop at the moment. But by hitting print, you can see that it's now attempting to send it. It's probably going to give me an error because there is no Acuity connected to my RIP at the moment. But that's the basics for sending a file. If you wanted to resend a file that has been sent previously, something that's in the job menu, you can simply select it, hit it, and then hit print again, or you could go back to reopen. So that's a quick overview of how to print. In the next video, we're going to talk a little bit about connecting the printer, how to make sure that you have a connection, whether it's a USB or IP, and we'll talk a little bit more in detail about making some adjustments to spot colors.